Welcome to the best show in the world related to Matlock. I am Jason. This is John. We are here to talk about the accident. This was an episode.
No, it was an episode, all right, for sure. But how you doing, Jason?
I am doing well, my friend. I am doing well. It's been a good weekend, good couple weeks. Yeah, things are good.
Good, man. Good. Yeah, things over here are okay. Dealing with a little bit of a sick kitten, or well, not kitten. She's a cat, but helping out my girlfriend. I've taken one of her cats in for a couple of days because they're not getting along with the other one for some odd reason. So we're trying to work our way through that, but it's kind of been fun to have a cat hang out with you, man. Like wherever I go, she follows, and while I'm watching TV, she curls up next to me. It's fun, man. It's awesome to have a cat. I've never had a cat before.
Well, it's awesome if you have a people cat, and it sounds like you have a people cat. Like there are some cats who are like, screw everybody, I just want to be left alone.
True. That is very true. It depends on their personality, but her name is Lady. Lady has a very pleasant personality, so I'm happy to have her as a roommate for a few more days. I say that because she might barge in here. I don't know. I have the door locked behind me, but I don't know. Who knows? They might. She might know. She might have learned how to open the door. Who knows?
Who knows, guys? Who knows? But I've been watching a lot of shows that relate to this, so recommend to our audience the show High Potential. It is about a mom with keen observation. You've seen this show before, but it's a good take on it. And she ends up working for the police because she was their janitor, and she noticed some stuff on their board that they didn't notice, and now she is a consultant. It's a fun little show. I'm watching Found. Second season of that just started, and Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Zach on Saved by the Bell, is the bad guy in that series, and he does such a good job. What else am I watching that's new?
What was the one, High Potential?
High Potential. It's a remake from a Swedish show. And then there's
I was going to say, we talked about that because it's Caitlin Olsen too, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm watching, what is the show called? It's with Zachary Quinto. He plays a doctor, and that's pretty good too. It's not the typical doctor show either, in the sense that not everybody gets cured at the end of the episodes. He helps them find ways to live with what's their problem. Oh, Brilliant Minds. And it's pretty good. The first episode I wasn't a huge fan of, but it got better. So episode 3 was pretty solid. But yeah, I love watching the premieres, guys. So if there's a new show, hit me up, and I've probably seen it. Law and Order has been it's been really good so far this season.
Well, real quickly, we should probably mention that Thursday, the 17th, 9 p.m. on CBS or on the Paramount Plus, whichever you watch your CBS shows on, is the second episode of Matlock, and I enjoyed an ad I just saw for it while watching football, where it's simply just Kathy Bates walking down a city street, and it says Kathy Bates is a fraud. And I think that is the best way to get people hooked into this, because I'm sure even if you weren't interested, you might say, I'm going to tune in just to find out why she's a fraud. Is she tax frauding people, or is she fraudulent on giving out loans? What's she a fraud of? And this would be a great way to rope people into checking out the episode, which, again, a couple weeks ago, we reviewed it in a very impromptu manner, and it was fantastic. At least I think so.
Yeah, it was very good. I can't wait. And give it a chance. And if you don't want to give it a chance, that's fine, but don't comment on the quality if you haven't seen it. That's all I'm going to say. But the show is good, guys. Go check it out. And it's going to be back-to-back with Elsbeth, which was my favorite show of last year, which is Columbo-esque. So you've got Columbo-esque show and Matlock, like back-to-back. Yeah, guys, go check it out, because that's a good couple hours of television.
Well, I'll tell you what wasn't a great couple of hours of television. I watched the Netflix biopic, The Queen of the Villains. It's a biopic about the lady professional wrestler in Japan, Dump Matsumoto. Man, the whole thing was, it was five 1 hour episodes, except for the last one was like 90 minutes. So it was actually 4 1 hour episodes and then a 90-minute episode. And there was no reason for it. Like, episodes 3 and 4 were pointless. You didn't even need them. Like, that was my big gripe, was like, it could have been a cool 2-hour movie, maybe 2.5-hour movie, and that would have been awesome. But they had to stretch it out, and it was it lost me. And I love wrestling, so you were probably shocked by that, Jason. I love all things wrestling, like biopics, behind the scenes documentaries, all that stuff I'll watch. But this one just fell short. It just really, and it was bad dubbed. It was dubbed in English, and it was not. I mean, we've come a long way from the Godzilla movies, but this was not very well dubbed. And if you're a wrestling fan, I could say confidently you could kind of probably skip this one.
That's sad. I mean, that's sad for the wrestling fans.
Yeah, no, it is, because she has an interesting story to tell, does, but it's just, like I said, episodes 3 and 4, they start talking about these other wrestlers who have nothing to do. They have a match. That's it. So you spent an hour talking about this match. There's no reason for that. You could have just cut that out and just had a much more streamlined tale. But I don't know. Producers didn't think the way I thought, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. If that's your thing, but sorry to hear that. How was the Vince McMahon? Did you finish that?
Oh, the McMahon, it was good. It takes there's been a lot of people downplaying how great it was, because if you're a wrestling fan, then you know all of this stuff. If you're not a wrestling fan, then it's great for you. So there's that. They kind of gloss over some things. But overall, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I did learn a couple of things I did not know about Vince McMahon. But it's better than the other one, than the other biopic show. So
nice. I watched The Beekeeper today with Jason Statham.
The what?
The Beekeeper with Jason Statham.
Oh my God,
dude!
Okay, don't even get me started on that.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. It's
got a really good tomato score, so I was like, I'll check it out, because I like Jason Statham, and the movie is literally a 2-hour action sequence, and I loved it.
Well, but here was the thing that I did not like about it. That's all true, but the 2 FBI agents were terrible. They were awful in their acting. It was abysmal. I don't remember their names, but God, they were terrible.
See, you and Justin go into a Statham movie for all the wrong reasons. You don't go into a Statham movie for that. You go into a Statham movie for Statham to kick a bunch of butt, and that is what he did for an hour and 45-ish minutes. Like, me and Tony were like, yeah, like the action never stopped. I was all in. I love watching him kick butt.
Well, Justin and I can be on the same team there, team anti-Beekeeper, because I didn't dig it.
Oh, dude, I loved it. I loved it when he threw the guy off the bridge, or I didn't throw him off. He drove him off the bridge. It was fantastic.
Yeah, with the truck. Yeah, I'm gonna share something with you two. For the first time ever in my life, I went with my girlfriend to go get a pedicure.
I want to do that so bad,
dude. I got to be honest with you. My feet were looking horrible. My feet were super calloused, and they were all jacked up. And she's been on my case for like a good 6-7 months about, your feet are hideous. You need to get these cleaned up. And so finally I went with her today. We went to her spa. I got to say, it's a little uncomfortable here and there, a couple of the procedures that they do. But overall, my feet look a lot better and they feel a lot better. So I'm not saying I'm going to be doing it once a month. I may do it, a couple times a year. But I got to give it a 2 thumbs up. The experience was great.
I don't know if you're bracing for me to make fun of you, because I am totally pro pedicure. Do it. My dad does it. I haven't done it yet, but I want to go get one because, again, my feet are also hideous.
Mm-hmm. Justin, do you have anything? Are you pro pedicure or anti pedicure?
I don't care about what he says. Opinion. He didn't like The Beekeeper.
He's indifferent.
I'm used to you not liking good movies, John.
Oh, okay. All right, I see how it is. All right, with that note, should we jump on into this episode?
Let's do it.
All right, then let's go ahead and get into our opening statement. As you mentioned, the title for this episode is called The Accident, and its original air date is March 26th, 1991. We have a couple of guest stars to talk about, and in fact, we'll talk about the first one because she is one that we see right out of the gate, so to speak. I'm talking about the actress known as Judith Chapman. She'll be playing the role as the attorney Miss Radovich. You may also know her as Gloria Simmons on Young and the Restless, Ginny Blake on General Hospital, Charlotte Greer Ryan on Ryan's Hope, Kay Faulkner on the Fall Guy, Terry Walker on Flamingo Road, and Natalie Hughes on As the World Turns, and quite a few other credits to her name. You know what? She mentioned The Fall Guy. Have you seen the movie with Ryan Gosling and I believe Emily Blunt called The Fall Guy, Jason?
I have not yet. I want to. It's on my list to watch. I'm going to watch it before the end of the year at some point, but no, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent. I like that Lee Majors and Heather Thomas get the original two stars of the show got a little cameo in the movie, since the movie is based on the TV show. So yeah, like I said, it's okay. It's not. I gave it right down the middle, a C grade, if you will.
Nice. Yeah, dude, she's still like working. She was in, looks like she took a little time off, but she came back. She was in King Richard with Will Smith, and then Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives. It looks like she's back on those shows right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about our second guest star. A gentleman by the name of Charles Frank. He'll be playing the role of Al DeMott, and you may know him as Dr. Jeff Martin on All My Children, Judge Anthony Booth on Reasonable Doubts, Jack Benchfield on Life Goes On, Senator Ryder on Falcon Crest, Jimmy Markham on LA Law, and Scott Carpenter in the 1983 movie The Right Stuff. I must confess, I've never seen The Right Stuff. Have you, Jason?
I have not. That's the one where you can see Tom Cruise like right in all of his cruise glory.
No. This is The Right Stuff was about the Gemini 7 astronauts that go to space. Ed Harris is in it. Who else? I just remember Ed Harris being in it. I've never seen it. Who else is in it? But it's all about the Gemini 7, space mission. Sam Shepard. Thank you, Justin.
I want to interview this guy, man, because he didn't do anything in acting after 1997, and then randomly came back in 2018 to do a voiceover in Dynasty Warriors 9, and then hasn't done anything since. And I want to know, what is it about Dynasty Warriors 9 that he decided to come back to acting for that one role in the video game? Fascinating.
Yeah, Justin also stated Dennis Quaid and Scott Glenn are also in The Right Stuff, which is correct, and that Dynasty Warriors is dope. I don't know what you two are talking about. I really don't. I have no clue. I assume this is a video game.
Yeah, I know. It's past Sega, so I wouldn't expect you to know.
That's right. No. N64 is my cutoff. I have an N64 at the house, for WrestleMania 2000.
NWO versus WCW is the game for the 64.
It is. You're right. It is.
You have it?
It is. I don't have it.
I'm about to come over. We're about to get down on
it. All right, our last guest star is a gentleman named Ken Lerner. He will be playing the role of Nolan Wheeler. He is also the sibling of Michael Lerner, the very famous actress. He is probably best known for modern-day fans as Lou Schwartz on The Goldbergs. He was Principal Bob Flutie on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Roger Graham in Unlawful Entry, Judge Thorpe on Days of Our Lives, Hal Alpert on In Plain Sight, Dr. Bernstein in Desperate Housewives, and about 90 other roles that he had. He's got an impressive resume, to say the least.
Folks, John forgot an actor, and I'm going to bring him up. His name is Richard Grove. He was dressed like Pete Rose through most of this episode, and he was in Army of Darkness, Matlock, Perry Mason, Money Train. He's been in a few things, but every time I looked up, I thought he was Pete Rose.
We have a story. We were in the same vicinity of Pete Rose one time, but we won't tell that story. That's a story for the Patreon if we ever have one. That will not be a story that we'll throw out here. It's a little rated R, if you will, and we like to keep it PG on Mattalk, right, Jace?
Yeah, I need you to remind me of a rated R story involving Pete Rose, but I guess I'll find out later. That's the good thing about getting old. You forget things that happened not too long ago.
Yeah, I could clue you in. Tuttle Mall.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if anyway,
autographs, and that's all I'm going to say. So there we go. All right, Jason, with that, are you ready to give me your opinion, solely your opinion, and only your good-natured opinion, so help you?
Let's testify!
It's time to testify! All right, ladies and gentlemen, the plot of this episode is that Ben defends a man charged with killing an ambulance-chasing attorney. Our opening scene is a commercial being filmed. It is for the law firm of Wheeler and Dobbs. And my God, this is the worst acting. Like, they were acting to be bad acting, but were bad acting while trying to be bad actors. Like, does that make any sense? Like, it was horrible. And I'm like, there's no way that the producers of the show go, oh yeah, that's how bad acting would be like. Yep, just right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Well, I think it does set the tone for this episode that things are going to be swarthy. We'll just leave it at that. Eugene Dobbs enters the commercial towards the end of it and does his spiel. And then Nolan Wheeler shows up. And these two argue about, we got him $2 million. But after everything, taxes and the court fees and everything, it was now $200,000. And that's what you have to say in the commercial. Dobbs is like, leave me alone, man. I know what I'm saying. And so he goes back to filming the commercial. Now, Jason, I don't know how you feel about things, but would you be kind of along the same lines as Wheeler or Dobbs? Like, if you won a court case, even if you won the lottery, you don't get all that money. I think people know that. Is that something that would anger you if you won like $2 million in the lottery and you only get $500,000?
I mean, I'd be annoyed, but I kind of figure that that's what's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, so I don't
taxes, man. Uncle Sam needs that money.
Word. So we go to a scene in the courthouse where Dobbs is there talking to his client. His client is a gentleman named John, who was promised a lot of money by Dobbs, all right, because he was injured in an accident. And a new doctor, Dr. McNally, stops by, who we get the idea is a quack. Okay, we get that idea from the way that they interact with each other. And when I say they, I mean Dobbs and McNally. They clearly are in cahoots with one another. And so the Dumont Corporation is being sued, by John. And basically, they're in the judge's chamber, and there's a dispute over the legitimacy of John's injuries. All right. They argue about that. And then it's brought up that Dobbs claims that John's lost income because he hasn't been able to work as a football coach of Baxter University, that he lost out on $6 million in salary. I mean, I guess you could shoot for the moon, but really? $6 million?
Yeah, just like Pete Rose looking for his money.
Well, I mean, like, I get that I've never been involved in a court case, right? And I imagine that you always want to shoot higher for the amount that you want. Like, I get that. I understand that. But $6 million? Like, that's a lot of money, man.
It is. But he's only going to get half of that anyway, or by the math that they were doing, he'll get like $600,000. Yeah,
exactly. Well, so basically, Dobbs' argument is that, hey, there were some major universities like Ohio State University. I assume they would be on that list because they're on everyone's list for college football. But I digress. He lost out because these major colleges were going to hire him. And then we find out that he was the one that approached the colleges, not the other way around. So the judge rules that John only gets enough money to cover his medical bills. All right. He's not getting $6 million. Miss Radovich wants to go to trial because, as she says, I want everybody to see what a scumbag you are, Dobbs. What a complete joke you are. And I thought that was fitting, like last words, if you want to call him that.
Yeah, and that's something you'd want to say to Matlock, but he's not Matlock, so it's fine.
That's right. You can get away with that when you're talking to Dobbs. So, okay, we go back out to the hallway, and John and Dobbs, they have a major argument. Dobbs is trying to smooth things over, and John's like, you promised me millions, blah, 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 blah. And, Wheeler shows up, and he gets involved in a mini argument with Dobbs about why'd you do the stupid stuff about why'd you do the stupid stuff about the salary? You know that we talked about that, blah, blah, blah. And so basically Dobbs says, hey, look, John, come to my office later. We'll handle things out. We'll get things right. Okay, we'll strategize. We'll get things right. And then as the final scene or the final shot in this scene, we cut to Dr. McNeely, Al Dumont, looking very suspicious as they stand in the hallway. So, Jason, what do you think so far of this first, I'll say, 25% of the episode?
I'm trying to figure out how this is going to play out and who's going to be the one killed.
I did too. I thought that as well. Because clearly Dobbs is a contender, but I thought maybe John could be one because he's the one that's causing all the ruckus. I was a little unclear of that too. So I'm glad we were thinking on the same wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nighttime rolls around. We go to a scene where Dobbs is at his office, and Dobbs is setting up his brand new pen tray, by the way, with the fancy pens that you and I could not afford. Anyways, unless we hit the lottery, then we could buy pen sets for everybody.
Yeah.
It'll be like Oprah. You get a pen set. You get a pen set. You get a pen set. We all get
Or we
pen
just go over to the bank and grab a thing of pens and give those out.
Yeah, I claim that Matlock steals his pens from the bank later in this
Today's
episode.
podcast is brought to you by Huntington. Here you go. Have a pen.
Click, 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 click. Anyways, Dobbs is setting up his new pen tray, and out in the hallway, there's a guy cleaning, running a vacuum. As John, as I'll use air quotes, appears and heads to Dobbs' office. This person's walking with a cane. They have the same Baxter jacket on, the same Baxter hat on, so one can only assume that it's John. So, lo and behold, the individual shoots and kills Dobbs in his office. We cut to a scene where Ben is at police headquarters talking to John, and he's running over the fact that, hey, you had an argument with me. A lot of people saw it. The gun was found in your hotel room. There's lots of people that heard this argument. And John was like adamant about the fact that he did not do it. And so Ben does some pro bono work. That's right. Free. No one's getting anything, no one's ever going to get a receipt for this. He's doing it for free. Why, Jason?
Because he wants to show that not all lawyers are scumbags like the guy.
There you go.
He's finally not wearing all red.
That's
Rest in peace to Pete Rose.
I don't know why we're so dominant on Pete Rose. Anyways, I don't know.
Dude, the whole time, all 3 times I watched this episode, that's the first name that popped in my head. So that's the name that he's stuck with. I don't know what Dobbs is. I know what Pete Rose is, and that's what that guy looked like.
Well, then what does Ace look like to you? Because Ace makes his return in this episode after a few absences.
This is a perfect episode for Ace Calhoun. This is what I assume he does on a daily.
Ben and Ace chat about, Ace getting sideswiped. Well, they first talk about the case, and then Ace is like, well, I got sideswiped the other day. So Ben tells him all about folks getting money from their accidents, and this gives Ace the idea that he can cash in as well. So he hurriedly runs away, leaves. And so we cut to a scene where Ben is at Wheeler and Dobbs' office, and he runs into Bob Brooks and then interviews Mrs. Dobbs. She's a piece of work, isn't she?
She is. She is something else.
They broke my vase. They broke my picture. They broke this. You guys are incompetent. Lady, they have guns. Do you know that? I mean, seriously. I mean, it might be a justifiable homicide to put one in you. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they broke your husband.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. Anyway, so she is too young to be a crotchety, but she's crotchety. That's what we'll call her. Justifying a lady. Yes, Justin, I just justified shooting Mrs. Dodds because she was that annoying that I think the judges around the world would go, she was annoying. She probably deserved it. So again, it's a fictional character, ladies and gentlemen. We can wish death upon them, can't we? Anyways, so we go to the courtroom. And we see Wheeler is in front of the judge. And oh my God, he is lousy at arguing a case, is he not? He is terrible.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know how he got his law degree.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Michelle interviews Wheeler, And basically Wheeler's like, hey, I'm the brains and the mouthpiece is Dobbs. That's how this tandem worked. And meanwhile, there's some guy snooping on Wheeler and Michelle from afar. Dobbs is leaving the firm as Michelle drops that knowledge to Nolan and is that enough motive for murder. So then as Wheeler starts to leave and get on the elevator, a mystery man confronts them right in front of Michelle. Then we cut to a water park. All right, it's in a water park. Nice.
Fun.
Change of scenery.
Best hot dog I ever put in my mouth.
That's right. I'm jumping right ahead to that. That doesn't happen for another couple scenes, but we find out that this place, what I don't even know if they said the name, the Dumont Corporation, best hot dogs around.
That's not what he said.
I wonder how they do it.
But that's a nice way to put it.
Well, he said it's the best hot dog he's put in his mouth, which if you want to giggle and snicker at that, you can, because Matlock's going to giggle and snicker at something too here in a few minutes, but...
Giggling, I'd say he's looking. He's not dead yet, John.
Oh, yeah, he's not dead yet. Oh, okay, we'll get to that in a minute. So Ben interviews Dumont, who has said, I've had several injury cases over the past few years. And yes, Dobbs has been a pain in my neck. So I filed a complaint against him with the bar. He filed some court papers against me. We called a truce and just stopped it. That was under the bridge. That was water under the bridge is what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Dumont has an alibi. He was working in his office most of the night. But we do think that Dobbs has an inside guy at the water park because that's why, according to Conrad, that's why there are so many cases. And this happens right after I skipped it. I apologize. Right after Ben's giddiness about the bikini-clad girls. The hot dog first, then the bikini-clad girls. Giggle, giggle, hee, I'm not dead yet. Matlock.
I mean, Conrad just looks like disgusted, but Ben is a single man. We think. I mean, we're not really entirely sure if Ben's a single man, but he's mostly a single man.
Those young ladies were easily in their mid-20s and way too young for Benjamin Matlock.
That's true, but we don't know how old he was in this episode because, old back then is not like it is now, John. He might be in his 30s. You saw the diabetes guy, John. He was in his 40s when he was doing those commercials.
Wilford Brimley?
Yeah.
He was not in his 40s.
He was in his 40s when he was doing those commercials.
Oh, come on. Look, I'm just saying this. Like, I want Ben to be happy, and I like his thing that he's got going on with Julie. I don't know why that storyline has taken a detour for a while, but I don't want Ben. I can't see Ben talking to a 23-year-old young lady. What would they have in common? Oh my God, it goes back to our story that we can't tell.
It's true. That's facts.
That's true.
Yeah. You're talking about it. I don't think it's a rated R story, but it's not a story to put on the internet for sure. But
yeah, no, it's not.
I was kidding about the age thing. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing that we'll kindly say 60 and a 20-some-year-old have in common.
No, they have nothing in common. I know it was what 1991, but I mean, like, she's gonna be like, hey, do you like those New Kids on the Block? And he's like, I want to hear Henry Mancini or the Maple Leaf Rag. I don't want to hear New Kids on the Block.
I don't know, man. Andy Griffith seemed like he was hip.
I could see him hanging out with MC Hammer. Hammer, I am Hammer. I'm doing the dance, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, let's get back on track because there's even more ridiculousness where this comes from. So Ben suggests that Conrad goes undercover, and we get a scene.
The worst Kermit the Frog cosplay I have ever seen in my entire life. Oh my God, it was awful. I get it. They weren't trying to fully be Kermit because they probably couldn't, so they wouldn't get sued, because I don't think Disney owned the ABC at the time, because this was on ABC, right?
No, it would have been on CBS so far.
Okay, well then never mind. They definitely didn't own CBS.
That's right.
Oh my God, the worst Kermit the Frog. I was waiting for Conrad to try to do the voice.
I put down Timu Kermit the Frog. Yeah, this was terrible. And like, I don't understand. The little girl put the ice cream cone in his face. but it's not really your face, Conrad. So why would this be a big deal? Like, he seemed a little bit annoyed. I'm like, she put it on the mask. We go to Ben at home, and Ace shows up with a neck brace, claiming that he is injured by the sideswiper. And Ben tries to talk to him and say, look, all right, Wilford Brimley making him 70 when he filmed those commercials, Jason. Yes. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Justin doing his producing work. Wilford Brimley filmed the diabetes commercial in 2004, and he was born in 1934, making him easily 70.
That's why I stopped talking about it, because I Googled it myself, and then once you find out you're wrong, you stop talking about it.
It's okay. It's all right. So Ben tries to talk some sense into Ace and like, look, you're not hurt. You don't have any pain. You know, the car got banged up a little bit, but Ace is all about suing. He wants to sue and get his cash. So we go to the courtroom, and once again, the guy that was cleaning the halls on the stand. He IDs John, but Ben kind of tears it down, and says, listen, he just happens to be a roughly the same height, the same build. He's got the red hat, the red jacket. He's got the cane, et cetera, et cetera. And John just inexplicably has an outburst. I wrote down why. Why is he having an outburst? Like, I didn't understand that at all.
He's lying. That's why he's having an outburst. He's out of control. Get this man out of here.
Yeah, but I would think that you would know that someone might lie in a court case, so don't make a big deal out of it.
Well, he lied about his betting and gambling in sports, so he was mad.
That was Pete Rose, not the character John. Next week, I hope you don't have any more weird name associations where we'll be talking about Ben Franklin instead of Ben Matlock. Anyways, Michelle and Ben, they swap some notes and they decide to split up. Ben goes to the water park, and Michelle, I forget what she was going to do. She was going to go talk to somebody, but we go to a scene at the water park where two kids are goofing around, and a lady gets pushed into the pool. She starts to grab her neck. Okay, how are you injured from falling into a pool with your neck? How?
The way the neck hits the water?
Yeah, it's called water displacement theory. And yeah, I mean, it's not like she jumped off of a building into a swimming pool.
Have you ever done a belly flop, John? Those things hurt.
Temporarily, man. Temporarily, they hurt.
Well, yeah, maybe her neck hurt temporarily, and she wanted to get money. You know how people are.
That's true. So Conrad witnesses the injured lady, and he witnesses the mystery man making a phone call, and he puts two and two together and says, hey, you must be the inside guy for Dobbs. And so the Dobbs dude's like, or excuse me, the mystery man, not the Dobbs dude. The mystery man goes, all right, look, you're going to get me fired. And Conrad's like, not if you tell me what you know. And so basically Conrad uses some information to enter, illegally, might I add, Dumont's office. Conrad and Ben are then outside the same fancy hotel we use for every exterior shot in Matlock. That same hotel. I wonder if it's still around. I'd like to go to Atlanta and see if that's still around. But the Mr. Dumont, is having a fling with Mrs. Dobbs. And Ben catches them, and they get massages each week. And so they couldn't have done the murder because they were involved in their, fun time, if you will.
It's funny because as this scene is happening, I'm like, how is this lady giving them both a massage at the same time? I'm already thinking about how this is going to end.
Well, Ben returns to the car and tells Conrad that he's pretty happy with the information that he got. So Wheeler chats with Ben and says that he was on the phone with a shrink, so that's his alibi. And he does that while they're at the office, where they're at Dobbs's office.
He's like, I don't care. I know you didn't do it. I don't care.
Yeah, right. Like, he freely admits, you're not even on the radar, Mr. Wheeler. So Ben notices the fancy pen set. He finds the truth document. Let's try the truce document, not the truth document. And Ben also notices one other clue. So we're back to the courtroom. All right. Dobbs has sued Dumont 12 times in 2 years. And that's why they called the truce. And then Ben says, well, aren't you having an affair with Mrs. Dobbs? And yes. And Mrs. Dobbs went first on the night of the murder on her massage. Yes. So Dumont could have left the hotel, drove to the office, killed Dobbs, dressed like John, come back to the hotel, undress, all that, and be there for the massage. But basically, the agreement of the truce was signed by Dumont on the 14th, or so he claims, and then sent to Dobbs. Dobbs never signed it. And so Dumont kind of determined that, yeah, I know he's never going to sign it. And so Dumont signed and sent the letter to Dobbs, all right? But Dumont's handwriting and the fancy pen gives it away that actually the unsigned truce, that's twice I've done that. The unsigned truce was signed by Dumont after the murder. Now, okay, I don't know, folks, if you're at home, if you can make heads or tails of that, because I sure as heck can't. I felt like this is the weakest part of this episode was I didn't understand. The whole fancy pen signature. It was signed. It wasn't signed. I don't know. What can you fill me in? What do you think? Help us out.
Apparently, the fancy pen writes differently than other. I'm not a pen guy. I don't know much about pens. I just know how to write with them. And then if they don't work, I know how to do like this or get a lighter to try to get the ink flowing. But that's about the extent of my pen knowledge.
Yeah, I was very confused by this. I didn't understand, like, if he sent the truce and he said, "Oh, I know he's not going to sign it," then why bother? Like, I didn't understand, like, why that was important to the plot. I didn't really see, like, what that had to do with anything. Yes, he would write differently with the fancy pen, but I didn't get it. I was baffled by this. This is probably one of the few endings that we've had where I've scratched my head and go, I think I understand what happened, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So you can let us know what you think. And how can they do that, Jason?
Email us, benmattalk@gmail.com. That is benmattalk@gmail.com.
And don't forget, you can find us on Facebook at Mattalk Podcast as well. Well, our last scene is Ben is visited one final time by Ace. Ace is mad because he was at fault for the accident. So there's no case. He's not getting any money. But, man, he rants and raves like a lunatic, does he not?
Because he has to pay now.
Yeah, he has to pay now. So he's stomp on the little guy. Crush the little guy. Rah, 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 rah. But I would expect nothing less from Ace Calhoun. All right, anything else, Jason, you want to talk about real quick?
No, I do not.
Okay, well then let's go ahead and let's get into our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John and I will rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel means we absolutely hated it. 5 gavels means we absolutely love it. Negative 37 gavels means we are becoming ambulance chasing lawyers and gonna follow you to your ER, to your deathbed or not. We're gonna get money for you or your family. Don't worry about it. We've got you. This episode, I had a really tough time getting into this episode all 12 times that I've attempted to watch it. I don't know why. Like, it has everything that it should have in it. I didn't like this is the best thing I put in my mouth. It didn't feel like Matlock. I don't know. This episode I wasn't a fan of in this up and down rocky season we've kind of had. But so I'd give it a 2, mainly because of Ace Calhoun, who was the highlight of this episode for me, which, that's saying a lot. What about you, John? What say you?
I gave it 3 gavels. I agree with you. I was totally confused by the end. Okay. And I still, at this moment, while we're doing this live, I'm not sure that I understand the end of the episode. I thought that Nolan Wheeler as an attorney with this hyper anxiety was stupid. I didn't like that idea. Timu, Kermit the Frog. I mean, I do say this. I think that there was a decent comedy with Ace. And I felt that the actor that was portraying Dobbs did a great job of being so slimy and, just despicable in his ambulance chasing ways. But yeah, it was a 3 for me. It was middle of the road.
Yeah, it wasn't very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, again, you let us know what you think. And Jason just gave you the email. Heck, let's give it to him one more time. What do you say?
benmattalk@gmail.com. Come say hi to us, guys.
There you go. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Mattalk Podcast. So let's talk about our own personal podcasting projects. Jason, what's going on with the Three Geeks podcast?
Just click that QR code with your phone, guys, and you will subscribe to us on YouTube. Come say hello. Check us out. We reviewed a movie that actually featured Daniel Roebuck on yesterday's episode of Three Geeks. So, guys, go back, check it out. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And also, click on this link to check out John's website. And John, tell them where
man. Thank you for hooking me up with one, man. That's a surprise. Thank you. Yeah, just click that QR code. What?
I just got to make one for Mattalk now, but we got them for our personal one so far.
There you go. So scan that QR code, and then you can hear the PVD cast, which is my own personal podcasting project. And yeah, thanks, man. I'm excited. I got a couple of cool interviews coming up real soon, or they're conversations, I like to call them. So yeah, I'm real stoked for the next couple of weeks. So got some good content coming. So hit that QR code for both me and the Three Geeks and Mattalk when it's available.
That's right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, say hello, email us. 2 weeks, we have the season finale of 5. We're going to have guest Liz joining us, and I can't wait. You guys email us. Become a guest on the show. Daniel, Liz, we've had other guests on the show just from, messaging and reaching out, so do so.
Yeah, so with that, Jason, let's get on out of here, shall we?
We shall, John.
All right, and as they say in court, nothing further.
This is your before and after story. Prepare for an incredible career in nursing. At Southeastern College, experience expert hands-on training. Learn real-world skills in our professional lab and simulated settings. And train for opportunities as a practical nurse, registered nurse, or career advancement with our RN to BSN program. At Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.